guys, welcome. This is a general reading for the collective of all signs for the December 2024 monthly energy update. The Love Tarot monthly energy update. So what I'm going to do is start off with Fortune Oracle to get a message for the month of December, as is my preference to use this deck. Let's see what the message is for December 2024 for all of us. The Sun, yes, card 30. Open your heart to the enormous growth ahead. The Sun card, pretty powerful in tarot too. And it says the Sun card will bring great joy to your life. You can expect to be happier, more fun-loving, and self-confident. The Sun basically shines on your life, and personal growth speeds up immensely. This card also enhances creative thinking, and you will be able to open up your feelings and communicate better than in the past. The time is right for taking holidays too, so okay. That's kind of on the nose. So go and book that cruise, overseas trip, or romantic getaway. The overseas part is pretty powerful because that's the realm that Sagittarius rules, and we are in the energy of the new moon in Sagittarius. So in personal or intimate relationships, it says for singles searching for love, it's very possible you will find a brand new relationship that will be fulfilling and exactly what you're looking for. Those in existing relationships could reignite the passion, and rifts from the past could finally be forgiven. There is enormous growth for married couples seeing each other in a fresh light. Great accomplishments surround difficult relationships with family or friends or family members. This is a truly wonderful time for those feeling a little lost or lonely to join local clubs, sporting activities, or even charitable functions, because it is certain you will find like-minded people to form firm friendships with. You could find yourself in the spotlight with all these blissful energies. Yes. So the Sun is shining on us. I love it. We need that in the month of December. I'm also feeling winter, summer solstice, northern, southern hemisphere. That happens in the month of December as well. So nice message for us. Feels good. What I'm going to do is do the tarot spread first. What I do in this spread is I take the month week by week. So week 1, 2, 3, and 4. Your person's energy, you in the middle, the relationship in the third row, and then I'm going to go in through the astrology. Look at the month of December. There's a lot to go through, and I left stuff out, so I'm only hitting the main points, but it's a busy month. So I'm doing it this way because a lot of you seem to like to get the tarot spread first and then have me go through the astrology so you can go, oh, now I see what that's all about. It is time stamped, so you can jump to the astrology if you'd rather hear that first. It's your preference. Yep, that's why I do it this way. All right, let's jump in. But before I do, I have a special announcement. I did a little bit of a Black Friday deal, and I was mentioning the Black Friday special during the Mercury retrograde readings. Those readings were not very well viewed. I don't know why, because you all asked me for astrology transit readings. I gave you what you asked for, and not a lot of you viewed it. So I've been getting hit with a lot of emails. I missed the Black Friday special. I missed the Black Friday special because it ended at 11:59 p.m. on Black Friday. So I'm going to open it up again. This is a general reading for the collective of all signs, and a lot of you tend to watch it. So I'm hoping that those of you that missed it are going to be here watching this. So I'm reopening. For those of you who have been emailing me and putting it in the comments, I heard you, I saw it, I've gotten your emails. It's been flooding me the whole weekend. So you will see in the description box below this video, in this video alone, a link to the Black Friday special. I will leave it open until through Cyber Monday, so that this is Sunday, you're getting it late Sunday evening, so through Monday 11:59 p.m. Cyber Monday, to make it fair so that people across the pond can watch it, and points in Australia, I have a lot of viewers there. Please, if you want it, Eastern Time, 11:59 p.m. Monday, December 2nd, it closes out. So if you want it, grab it. It's 20% off my regular rate. Okay? That's my gift to you. So if you are watching this, please take advantage of my, I heard everybody going, I missed it. And by the way, I did the Mercury retrograde readings to help you, for all of you, so that you know how to handle it. And I'm seeing in the comments, I'm so depressed. This Mercury retrograde is kicking my ass, blah, blah, blah. And I get it. It's a rough one. It's really rough. So go watch the reading. It will help you. I get very instructive during those transit readings for reasons, so that it can normalize. It can help you adjust and adapt and go, oh, I'm not hallucinating this. It helps to normalize what you're experiencing and make you understand what the purpose is. And also, like the cat on the tree, hang in there, right? To let you know it's for a very short period of time. So we can all sort of, do our breathing exercises until the 15th of December, okay? So I love you. I love you all. The link is below. It's first come, first serve in terms of order. However many of you take advantage of it is fine, but in terms of the order in which I will do your personal readings, it's first come, first serve. All right, let's jump in and do the spread. There we go. It's general, not private, so this might not resonate for everybody, but again, it's taking the month week by week. Overall energy for December is about triumphant homecomings, returns, very possible during the retrograde, but also about triumphant reconciliations, right? Where we can meet in the middle, negotiate our way to rapprochement, right? That peacemaking, what we do agree on, and let that be the jumping off point for any kind of need for compromise or some path forward. I love it. So week 1 for your person, week 2 for your person, week 3 for your person, week 4. Week 1 for you, week 2 for you, week 3 for you, week 4. Week 1 for your connection, week 2 for your connection. God, week 2's a doozy. Week 3 for your connection, week 4. There's always one week where everything just kind of gets scrambled. And the good news is that's right where we have the most tension, because Mercury is slowing down and about to station direct. And when he slows down, it's like there's this vibrational energy, and it's the most disturbing to our energy, okay? Just so you know that that's a thing. All right, so I told you the overall energy for the month is conciliatory, so that's good. And there could be some returns for some of you, some homecoming energy, and at least coming to some form of reconciliation for others. Your person in week 1, we're looking toward the future. We're looking toward life partnership. And yeah, you may have some questions. Your energy is, I want to talk about it. I want to know where we stand on these things. You might have some unanswered questions. This is a topic that will come up in conversation, very likely. It's an opportunity to explore. This is an initiation kind of energy. It might get everybody's hackles up, because remember, we're in week 1. We are right now in the new moon. We're kicking off the month with a new moon in Sagittarius. Fire. And it might sort of create some testy communication because we're in Mercury retrograde. That's what I'm saying. Week 1 to week 2, we've got your person operating from some egoic fear, maybe some resistance, maybe they get a little over controlling, maybe even a little bit. I'm feeling the shadow kind of finds its way to the surface. All you're after is the reciprocity. Right? This came up a lot in the Mercury retrograde readings, this 6 of Pentacles. It's about the give and take. It's about generosity. You're not interested in a one-sided relationship. Right? And so in the connection, we get resistance on both sides. Yeah. Just think, week 1 to week 2, as we're moving out of, around the 7th of the month. Yes, and I see exactly what that's coming from. We move from the 7th of the month toward the 15th. We're also on the 15th when just as Mercury's screeching to a halt and we feel that tension about to go direct, we also have the full moon in Gemini. Right? So, in the connection, we might have some defensiveness and resistance on both sides. Then we move from week 2 into week 3. I have a feeling like your person might sort of retreat into themselves, hermit. But in essence, it's a good thing. You're going to be all about, well, I need to see some progress. The Chariot. I need to move forward. I need to see some effort, some progress. And this person's going to seem to you like they're going backwards. But they're not. They're going within. And it's a good thing because the Hermit is about personal growth, self-awareness, ding, 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 and introspection. And you can't help them with that. And there you are about, well, I need to know if I should just move on. If we're not going to make any progress here, then, the Chariot's moving toward or away from something, and usually for the higher good. So you're, right here, motorcycle, vroom, vroom, you're just letting it idle, but you're tweaking on the gas there to remind this person to kind of come out of hiding. And in the connection, there is the Knight of Swords. To me, the Knight of Swords is that moment before we have this reconciliation, because it's about a cleanup on aisle 5. Like I want to understand and I want to be understood. There might be a clearing of the air that begins to present itself around week 3. Moving from week 3 to week 4, your person. Yes, the Strength card. Facing the obstacles, gathering up their strength, their courage, and their confidence to even know they can. Part of the obstacle is what they tell themselves, and that small part of themselves that acts from shadow, that acts from insecurity, that acts from ego. Right? Instead of from what their soul is telling them. And that's why this week 3, when they kind of retreat, let them, because what comes out on the other side is who they really want to be. Okay? The new and improved version. And that takes character. And it does take strength. And there you are. Yes, 2 of Cups. It's like now you're talking. And these two help each other in the Strength card. So you're more open to assisting this person, to saying, yeah, we can do that. Yes, that's where this 6 of Wands comes in. That's the moment where it's like, yeah, and the romance comes back around, the emotional vulnerability, the offer of love, because this person took the time they needed to kind of examine their motivations. You didn't really jump on your high horse and run away. You just kind of idled. You vroom vroom, but you idled and gave it the space that was needed and the opportunity to be heard, and also to be sure that you were clear and that they had the opportunity to be clear as well. And I just think it's a perfect setup for closing out December. We have another month with a black moon because we close out the 30th with a new moon in Capricorn. So we had a black moon month in November for the West Coast because they had 2 black moons, since their new moon today actually fell yesterday at 11:21 p.m., but it didn't fall for us on the East Coast until 1:21 a.m. this morning. So we have a black moon month in December, if that makes sense. I know. Okay, so that's the overall, week by week, you, them, you, and the connection. I know. I'm saying. The sun is smiling on us. Let's go. 6 of Wands. 3 of Pentacles. Oh, yes. So, because there's, and for those who are brand new, welcome to the channel. Happy to have you here. When I pull from the bottom of the deck, I'm tapping into what you can't see. So it's either something in your unconscious awareness, your person's unconscious awareness, or something playing out behind the scenes. In any event, you can't see it, but I like to let you know it, or have the opportunity to consider it as a factor, to factor it in somehow. Because there are concerns here, right, about painful endings. 10 of Swords. I'm not seeing a painful ending, but it's there. It's like running on a little loop internally, like an internal point of reference in your psyche throughout the month. And what I like about the month is there is unhappiness, there is disillusionment, but the reconciliation is about, well, how do we get to cooperation? How do we get on the same page at the same time so that we can begin to build a solid foundation together? That's what the month is basically about. We know that something's not working. There's a disconnect on an emotional level. And the internal reference is, oh man, that like this could really be it. We could be DOA. And so if you want to avoid that, the focus here has to be on how do we get from what isn't working and is so disenchanting, disillusioning, to where we're on the same page and forming some form of agreement where we're both like, yeah, that's what we want it to feel like. That's what we want it to look like. That's what we agree upon. And that's our jumping off point. All right. So I want to see, we've got your person here, week 1 to week 2. I want to see the 10 of Pentacles to the Devil, because something there goes sideways. Yeah. It goes sideways. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. So here's what I think happens. I feel like this person has a very controlling reaction to the whole construct of the future, of life partnership. And it's sort of like, it's a slow your roll kind of an approach, feeling like they want to control it. You know, there's a little bit of a, almost coming at you with it'll happen when I say it'll happen, you know, or I'm not going to be pushed. We're a long way off from that. These are phrases that are I'm just getting like the phrases, right? We're a long way off from that. That's not even, you know, that's not even on my mind. And it's kind of hitting very hard. And it could be breakdown energy, breakthrough energy, but it feels like whatever happens, it brings out the worst of this person. It brings out the worst because we've got that 5 of Swords underneath, and that 5 of Swords is, oh, hell no, right? I'm running this game. And the Five of Swords can also be cruel. That's why I think this Knight of Swords is the opportunity to clear that up, right? Let me tell you what I really meant, or let me be sure you understand, because they're going to have time to really reflect on that, to really go within and understand their motivations, and then take the opportunity before you speed away to make themselves clear. So I feel it is an absolute response to talk of the future. Talk of the future coming from Queen of Swords. And it might just be a question. You might just have a question. You might just, right, it's holidays time. It could be the silliest thing, and you just get a really crazy response. So keep that in mind. It might not even be a question you ask. It might not even be something you bring up. It might be your response to something. It's just, I'm seeing this person have a very strong reaction to something that has to do with the future and this relationship. Okay? Now, that may not entirely be speaking to those of you who are in separation from your person right now. So keep that in mind. This is really, to me, speaking to those of you who are in some form of contact or sporadic contact. Yeah, week 1 to week 2, there's a little blip here. So it sends this person into a bit of hermit energy, a little reclusivity. We'll get to that in a moment. I'm feeling, well, let's do that now, because I kind of want to see how they play it out. Hermit to the Strength card, week 3 to week 4. This is when we get past Mercury retrograde. We're right after the full moon. Okay, there we go. So we've had a major attitude adjustment. Okay. And what's really interesting is all Wands energy. So this is all about action and desire. And it looks like from week 3 to week 4, after this deep reflection of whatever their internal, whatever their that shadow mechanism that caused them to bark about whatever it was that comes up week 1 to week 2, they go into some form of process of soul searching and really taking a self-inventory. And in the midst of that, this Ace of Wands comes in, which is something that in the first week, we're going to get to it, in the connection, it's what was brought up, right? Your move. I can almost see it like in the connection, it comes up. So it's revisited. And we have internally, remember from the bottom of the deck, in unconscious awareness, it's about this person going, what do I want? Really, what do I want? And in a world of possibilities, right, it's got the globe in his hands. In a world of possibilities, what path is likely to get me there? And what do I need to set in motion so that it arrives? And the arrival is 3 of Wands. So it seems to me like this person in their hermit experience is then formulating the anticipation of what they want. They shift almost from hermit to magician. They sort of shift into manifestation mode, but they're not completely sure they can pull it off. So the Strength card in week 4 is really about them kind of getting their game face on. Like, can I have what I want? Do I believe it? You know what? Am I able to overcome the things that are in the way, including my dark side, including the parts of me that get really controlling, that get freaked out, right? That get that do a little catastrophizing, or that get very dramatic and that overblow situations. Whatever it is, it's going to be different for each one of you. So think about your person in that light. So I want to pull an extra card for the Strength card. Oh yeah, they have what it takes. They will reach down deep for their inner divine masculine to overcome those parts of themselves that are less than desirable for manifesting what they do want, because it comes up in the connection and you're just looking for the reciprocity. You're just like, yeah, it's really not that complicated. Let me simplify it for you. I give, you give. We give to each other. I show up for you, you show up for me. I'm generous with my time, you're generous with your time. That's how relationships work. It's really that simple. And this person freaks the F out and then does the self-inventory. Comes out on the other side of that like, yeah, that's pretty much what I want. And by the end of the month is like, and now I just have to have the strength of character and get out my way and rise up into the role that I belong in. I'm saying it's going to happen. I like it. Okay, so now for you, week 1, I just played out week 1 to week 2. It's pretty simple. Let me tell you how it works in the real world. And then they go on their freak out episode, and you're between this here 6 of Pentacles to the Chariot. And I feel this is that moment between week 2 to week 3 where you're like, yeah, all right, well, vroom, vroom, like I'm sitting here, I'm just going to idle, but motor's running. Right, 5 of Wands, King of Cups. And the Strength card. This is so perfect, guys. Your message is it shouldn't be this complicated. You either have the feelings or you don't. So it's not that complicated. So you're feeling the tension and the complication coming from King of Cups. And that is to say that this is somebody who struggles with their feelings and their emotional availability. Not that they don't have the feelings, but it's the grip that it has on them. It's the fears around the feelings, right? What it means to put them out there. Because once they're out there, it's like they're out there in the wild. Their vulnerability is like, it's, that's the issue. And so that Strength card from the bottom of the deck is playing out behind the scenes, and it pops its head up in week 4. So you vroom vroom, you're ready. You're just kind of like, it's not that complicated. It shouldn't be this hard. It shouldn't be this dramatic. There shouldn't be this much drama around it. So I feel like that's you week 2 to week 3. You're not making any sudden moves. You kind of seem, and I'm saying this to a divine feminine, that's who I think you are watching. You're kind of seeming pretty level-headed. And I'm going to say it again in the Mercury retrograde readings. If you haven't watched them, please do. That Queen of Swords came up a lot. And I kept saying, channel your inner Queen of Swords, because she's the one that kind of keeps the proverbial ish together and level-headed, practical, pragmatic, no hidden agenda, calling balls and strikes, and just the facts man. And that's exactly what I'm seeing here. Now we go from week 3, Chariot, to week 4, 2 of Cups. As your person doing their self-inventory, kind of comes to the realization, yeah, that is what I want. And now I got to make it happen. I got to man up, or divine masculine up. Right? Knight of Cups, the Star, Devil. So we have a morphing. Okay. We have a morphing of the devil. Yeah, the devil has no power now. There's healing energy brought to bear. Yeah, still lurking. It never, we're all humans. We're souls having a human experience. So remember what I said about the devil. It's either in unconscious awareness or playing out behind the scenes. In this case, I just feel it's an awareness that you're still dealing with a soul having a human experience that has fears. But from week 3 to week 4, you manage to conquer. You manage to bring the best out of the beast. All right? You've got the emotional availability and vulnerability of this person coming towards you, and trusting and having faith that that love will be returned. And so it is. So no need to worry about the devil. The other aspect of the devil reversed is really lovely, because the devil reversed is almost, I don't need to stay in that cage. I don't need to stay in that square box. I don't need to stay in my own limitations, or the limitations that society has put upon me, or my family, or the church, or the school, or whatever. Right? So there are aspects to the devil reverse that kind of say, I'm going to go for it. I don't care what my own fears are, what my ego says, what the bounds of society say. I'm doing this. And when I look at your connection overall, I think what happens that kicks this all off is this Ace of Wands. There's some kind of an initial thing that sort of happens here. Ace of Wands to the Seven of Wands, week 1 to week 2. The World, Six of Pentacles. And the World card, by the way, is Saturn. And we're going to talk about Saturn. Saturn's all over the month of December. December is a Saturn-ruled month. Halfway through we get, or 3/4 of the way through, we get to Capricorn season, which is Saturn ruled. So we have Saturn squaring a lot of stuff. So it's not a surprise that the World is about endings and new beginnings, but it's also about cycles closing out so the new cycle can begin. And I feel like what comes up is this, are we going to stop pussyfooting around here and end all this, whatever it is that I can't see, but and have something more reciprocal. And that's when we hit the skids of, nope, stuck, stressed, defensive, resistant. So I feel like what starts as an opportunity presents itself to consider the dynamics of the relationship and what's the new cycle going to be, throws everything into a little bit of chaos and tension and drama. Week 2 to week 3. Three of Cups, Nine of Cups, Temperance. There's this energy of, well, what are we doing here? Isn't this isn't it good enough for you? Right? I think things are good as they are. Is the Nine of Cups, the complacency, and Temperance is sort of from the bottom of the deck is self-control and restraint. Okay, don't lose your cool, because the Knight of Swords can be anger. So in that week 3, and let me tell you, in week 3, we have Mercury squaring Saturn. So we want to be really careful with anything that we say, and Mercury will be direct at that point. So we want to be super careful. So there will be a tendency to want to pop off. Don't do it. Exercise self-control and restraint. Because what you're going to be hearing is, I thought we were having fun. I thought we're having a good time. I think things are good as they are. And there's going to be your resistance and defensiveness to that. And also defensiveness coming from this person about whatever it is that you are suggesting may not be enough for you. That you want more involvement, more of their time, more investment on their part. 6 of Pentacles, you know what I'm saying. So Temperance is doing a lot of heavy lifting here from the bottom of the deck. I would heed the message of Temperance. Self-control, restraint. Go with the flow, because you know what's coming week 3 to week 4. Big turnaround, right? The 18-wheeler. You're staring the 18-wheeler. Big turnaround. Okay. That's Laura driving an 18-wheeler. Okay. Yeah, week 3 to week 4. Knight of Swords, Knight of Cups. Knight of Wands. 6 of Swords. We got love, passion, clearing the air. 6 of Swords. We're moving to calmer waters. Knight of Pentacles. Someone showing up for you. Yes, this person, finally understands. Like you said, it's not that complicated. If you want peace of mind, bring your love and passion to bear. I understand where you're coming from, but I need you to understand me as well. This is my love language. And I feel, that it all works out. we close out. That new moon in Capricorn will serve you well. Chiron also goes direct on the 29th. Chiron is known as the great healer, the wounded healer. And I feel that it's a beautiful ending to a complicated month. Ta-da! That's what I have for you, my lovelies, for this part. And so while I have this all here on my table, I'll bring out part 3, which is my notes. This time I did it myself. I'm trying it by myself. I didn't go to any other astrologers. I just looked at my calendar because I get that. I have a great source. I use, what do I use? In case you want to get it ever. I think it's the Magic of I. I have the Magic of I. And you can get their electronic calendar, and it just uploads to my calendar. So I went through and I wrote it all down, and now I'm going to give you the down and dirty of it. Here we go. Today, December 1st, new moon in Sagittarius. I did the new moon in Sagittarius reading. If you missed it, you should watch that because I gave the instruction there. This is a beautiful new moon, a powerful new moon. It is the go big or go home when it comes to setting intentions. So if you haven't done it, not too late. We're still in the energy of it. Set those intentions for something expansive. Let me give you, where are my notes? I don't understand why this keeps going away. Let me see if I can find it while you're here. So whether I'm just going to give you like it's powerful for manifesting goals that align with this sign's adventurous and expansive energy. So you want to be adventurous. You want to think of things that you've never done before, something new, something that would broaden your horizons, your knowledge, your perspective. It's a great new moon to set an intention for studying astrology or tarot or anything like that, more spiritually oriented, or Reiki or any of those things, because the ninth house rules those types of studies. Add a little sparkle to your dreams and add those into your intentions. It's like in this new moon, you have a cosmic cheerleader shouting, "You've got this, aim higher." And so it wants you to have some fun. Jupiter wants to give you all good things. Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius. So do something quirky, do something a little offbeat, and let your intentions be as wild and free spirited as Sagittarius is itself. And the universe loves a dreamer with a sense of adventure and a heart full of curiosity. So that is just my quick little note on the new moon in Sagittarius, which is today. Then tomorrow on December 2nd, Mercury retrograde is trining Chiron retrograde. And that's a good thing, and I'm telling you that because a lot of you have been commenting that you're struggling with this retrograde in Sagittarius. And the reason why is Mercury is not happy in Sagittarius. It's too many shiny objects. Mercury is very linear and very organized and very, thoughts are very detailed. And Sagittarius is not about the details. It's big picture thinking. So when it's trining the wounded healer, it's an opportunity tomorrow to kind of sort of feel like you're getting soothed somehow. So use December 2nd as an opportunity to maybe take a little me time, drink a soothing tea, take a little bubble bath. Do something for yourself that's very soothing, that you find soothing. I am going to spend tomorrow playing Christmas music solely that's all that I'm going to listen to. That's my soothing tomorrow. I know that sounds crazy, but I don't tend to do a lot of that. Like I'm busy, I'm doing stuff. And I don't do well with background noise, but tomorrow that's going to be filling the whole house because that soothes me. Got it? On December 5th, so we're still here in week 1, we have the Sun conjunct Mercury retrograde. It's the only mention I'm going to have really of the Sun because the Sun conjunct Mercury, it's when it's retrograde is really important because the Sun is illuminating something you can't see. When Mercury is retrograde, he's in the below, and that's what's very disorienting for us. So on the 5th, something may be illuminated. Mark this in your calendars even. I hope you guys have a pad and paper by now. I hope you take notes on this stuff. If not, go back and replay this part. Because on the 5th, something may be illuminated, or roundabout there, something may be illuminated that you go, oh, I get that now. I see that. That makes sense. And now I can go through the rest of the retrograde and I kind of understand what's been really bugging me. Okay, something may be illuminated. That's important. On the 6th, Mars stations retrograde in the sign of Leo. So he'll be moving backwards. And this is also on the 6th. Mercury retrograde will square Saturn. Now, this is key. When Mercury is retrograde, remember how I say it's a 3-act play. We have the pre-shadow, we have the retrograde, and we have the post-shadow. 1, 2, 3. Well, Mercury always has a triple transit. 1, 2, 3. And this time around, the triple transit is a square to Saturn. Oof. So the first one already happened. That square to Saturn in the pre-shadow happened on November 12th. So y'all might want to go back in your calendar and look right around November 12th and see if you had any dust-ups of any kind around November 12th. Because when Mercury has a square to Saturn, remember, a square is like immovable objects. Wall meet floor, it ain't going anywhere. And it's very challenging. It's tough. Lots of difficult geometry there means something's really going to be an impossible challenge. So look at that, and if there was something that was a little explosive or breakdown, that's your clue. Because the second part of that is on December 6th, Mercury retrograde hits that transit again, squares Saturn on the 6th. And he will do it a third time. I'll get to that later. On the same day as Mercury squares Saturn, like that's not enough, Venus moves into the sign of Aquarius. So Venus in Aquarius is kind of quirky. You know, planet of love and money, and Aquarius is just so like unicorny, so unconventional. Venus loves being in Leo, and then opposite Leo is Aquarius, and Venus doesn't know quite what to do with herself there. So there might be some unconventional aspects to matters of the heart around the 6th, at the same time that Mercury retrograde is squaring Saturn. So all that to say, you might want to kind of think outside the box if you're bumping up against something really difficult and stressful, because the very next day, now think about this, Pluto just moved into Aquarius, right? And is sitting where? 0 degrees. So if Venus moves into Aquarius, the very next day, she conjuncts Pluto. So when two planets are conjunct, it means they're at the same degree point, like they're holding hands. And Venus conjunct Pluto means that Pluto just pulls her into the below, right? Venus with Pluto, Lord of the Underworld, and also the planet of transformation, means that things could be very intense in matters of the heart on the 6th and the 7th. Do you see where that's happening? Hello, Devil, 6 of Pentacles, and the 7 of Wands. Oh, I could hardly be 8, right? See what I'm trying to tell you? End of week 1, 6 and the 7th. Mercury squares Saturn. Venus moves into Aquarius. Next day, she conjuncts Pluto. There we have it. Same day, on the 7th, Neptune stations direct in Pisces. Now, you're thinking, oh, okay, well, Neptune in Pisces. Neptune rules Pisces. Neptune in his ruling sign means the fog machine is on full blast. In retrograde, it's bad, but when he turns around direct, we're all going to be a bit befuddled. All right, we'll straighten it out, but the 7th, there will be added confusion. Okay, just know that. Like, we won't really know where true north is spiritually. We will kind of all be like, what is happening? What is happening here? That's why your reply is going to be, Queen of Swords is going to be like, it's not that complicated. It really isn't. Like, I don't know what's happening. So that's why I'm saying Temperance is doing a lot of heavy lifting. And Temperance is Sagittarian energy. So we're still in the house of Sag. We've, in the mansion, we've got to kind of go with the flow. Just stay chill if you can, if you're brave enough. If you have some gummies, that would be great. Then we get a little reprieve from the 7th to the 15th. There are other things that are happening, but they're not super important. And I'm trying to give you only the big stuff. There's a full page of. So then on the 15th, we have the full moon in Gemini. Great. That will be a full moon reading that I'll do. So I'm not going to talk about it in big detail here. But just know we're closing out week 2, moving to week 3, and we're smack in the middle of the month. And we have a full moon. Things coming to completion, culmination, right? And we have the big release And I feel like we're right there. This person kind of goes off grid. You've got your motorcycle idling and your rev, rev, rev. And it's time to start clearing the air. And on the same day, Mercury stations direct. Okay? We're through the worst of it. A few days later, we have on the 19th, Venus trines Jupiter. A trine is gentle geometry. So Venus trining Jupiter is like, or Jupiter trine, Jupiter is making a lovely geometry with Venus, and it's basically where we're supported in matters of the heart. There's good luck, there's abundance, but also there could be a little over the top, right? We want to be careful when there's a trine. It's supportive, but we could overreach. All right, so we're right in this area, but it feels like that Knight of Cups is right on time. And your person anticipating the opportunity almost to like get back into the right size of things with you feels good. We have the Three of Wands, the Knight of Cups, and the Knight of Wands as the first clarifiers in week 3. Those are good energies to work with. Love and passion, anticipation, things starting to move forward, and that's when Venus is trining Jupiter. Really good energy there. Then 2 days later, 3 days later, we have the sun moving into Capricorn, so we move into the Capricorn mansion, and it's solstice. Okay, beautiful energies there. And then a few days later, Jupiter squares Saturn. And that's really potential over the top. That's big lessons day. We really have to sort of make sure we don't let this devil energy rear its ugly head again. Okay, now we're between week 3 to week 4. So notice that it's there from the bottom of the deck. So we've made some progress here. And when Jupiter squares Saturn, we don't want to go over the top. So we want to really kind of stay in some boundaries. This is the time when Saturn comes in and says, all right, guys, you finally got your shit together. Now, don't go blowing it. Right? Because Saturn's the great teacher, but also the Lord of Karma. So the teacher's going to come back into the room and say, nice job, you've recovered nicely, now don't go blowing it. Okay? So on the 24th, and that's, Christmas Eve. And then on the 27th, Mercury does his final triple transit and squares Saturn again. That's the last and final of the Mercury squares Saturn, just as a way for Saturn to say, okay, have you got it now? Have you sorted it all out? Did you grok the lessons? Are you clear? Okay, get the hell out of here. Class dismissed. So that's the energy of the triple transit of Mercury square Saturn. Will be done by the 27th. The very next day, Venus squares Uranus. All right. Venus squaring, well, I say Uranus. Venus squaring Uranus. Uranus is the great awakener. Uranus is kind of that planet. Expect the unexpected. Anything can happen and probably will. Think of the Fool card, right? To me, Venus squaring Uranus is saying you can have it any way you want it, but you can't have it both ways. It's either going to be a breakdown or a breakthrough. I am seeing breakthrough. Breakthrough, breakthrough, breakthrough. But remember, because it's a general reading, not a private reading, as of the 28th, be aware you can close out this month any way you want it, but you can't have it both ways. Okay? That's the message of Venus square Uranus. On the 29th, Chiron stations direct, the wounded healer. Some call it the great healer. I call it the wounded healer. Stations direct in the sign of Aries. So that's just a shift in, we're not revisiting old wounds. We're kind of moving forward now. and we'll be traipsing over new wounds as Chiron moves forward. And we close out the month on the 30th, new moon in Capricorn, black moon for most of us. And yeah, I'll do a special reading for that as well. Okay, so there you have it, guys. Crazy month. I told you it would be a big one, and this was a very long reading indeed. But I wanted to, share with you everything that I have. I'm definitely going to do an extended where I go around the zodiac, Aries through Pisces, with smaller readings for this month. So if you're interested in that, the link is below. If you have any of the monthly memberships, you already have the extended. But for those of you who don't, there is a link to the extended below. And if you've enjoyed this reading and haven't yet done so, please do subscribe below. That's our energetic exchange so that, so that I can keep growing this thing. And thanks for following me. Thanks for joining me. And I hope you have a beautiful month of December. And I'll see you in the extended. That's what I've got. Bye for now.